Hi, good afternoon. Good afternoon for me at least. Here we are again. I want to share a few thoughts with you, starting with Proverbs 23 and verse 7. As a man thinks in his heart, so he is. So what we think is very important. Roots of character and conduct form in the mind. Our thinkers harbour all sorts of things. When I was a child, my mother, like most mothers, told nursery rhymes and taught me many things. Remember Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall? Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. All the king's men and all the king's horses could not put Humpty together again. I'm sure you can visualise a very rounded man looking like an Easter egg falling off the wall. Poor Humpty Dumpty. Only this week I discovered the truth. Humpty Dumpty was not a man at all, but a massive siege gun used by the royalist forces during the English Civil War. It was hauled to the top of St Mary at the Walled Church in Colchester, and in 1648, under attack, it fell and was so badly shattered it could not be repaired. I'm sure my mum never knew that. But a phrase she often used was, "they say." She used it about things in everyday life, traditions, the weather, like, they say, red sky at night, shepherd's delight, and in a variety of other ways about health and illness, about etiquette. They say this and they say that. Time came when I questioned, who are they? How do you know they are right? Why should I take notice of what they say? Probably a bit of teenage rebellion and arrogance involved in that. My parents were not superstitious, although one set of grandparents in the country did have a number of taboos. I remember being told off by Gran for bringing hawthorn blossom into the house. Woven into every culture are customs, traditions, and many tales, superstitions, and practices. Some things are good and some things are just a bit of fun, while others have sinister origins or connotations. Some come and go, others are passed on through generations. Some of these things I'm about to mention will be familiar to you. It's lucky to meet a black cat. Touch wood, let it bring you luck. Or if you live in France, I guess, touche le bois. And on TV quiz shows, you see people crossing their fingers for good luck. It's lucky to find a clover plant with 4 leaves, and so on. But it's bad luck to walk under a ladder, although that's just common sense. 7 years bad luck to break a mirror, and if you see a magpie, you're in trouble. Put new shoes on the table, no, don't do that. To open an umbrella indoors will certainly bring bad luck. The number 13, and especially if it's a Friday, that will definitely bring you bad luck. It's said, in fact, that Friday the 13th is connected with the fact that Jesus was crucified on the Friday. And then there are superstitions about tablecloths, the layout of cutlery. 13 for dinner? No. Cooking. You must mix clockwise, so the cooks from medieval time were taught. If you eat a boiled egg, make sure you push through the bottom with the spoon to let the devil out. There are many sayings about ravens at the Tower of London. When they disappear, our monarchy will come to an end. Don't bring peacock feathers into the house. And the bride and groom must not meet before the service. And for a bride on her way to the church to be kissed by a chimney sweep, ha ha, you'll be lucky to see one at all. But that will bring you luck. And many others, some about pregnancy, childbirth, and early years. Lots of superstition about church buildings and churchyards. And then, of course, there are signs of the zodiac, astrology, horoscopes, tarot cards, numerous occult practices, including New Age, many causing alarm, fear, depression or psychological trauma. Much goes beyond a bit of fun. Getting involved in any way can open the door to the devil. Every county or region in the land has its own take on these matters, and it seems every country in the world is well stocked with nasty superstitious beliefs and practices, and much of this stuff is mixed up with voodoo, witchcraft and other occult activity. Often national traditions, superstitions and beliefs permeate religion, even Christianity. Why am I telling you all this? Well, this last week, looking at the internet, I found a forum that said many of these things and invited students of British culture to consider them all, to evaluate them, and then they were asked this question: do you believe that they can influence our lives and still live on in the age of science? I didn't pursue it to a conclusion, but I can guess that some would certainly think, yeah, these things are still very real. But it's not just superstitions, worldviews, philosophies, unbiblical teaching. All these can affect our thinking. Now, the Apostle Paul gives strong warnings and advice in Colossians 2:8. Watch out for people who spread their ideas through the empty traditions of human beings and the empty superstitions of spirit beings. That's not the way of Christ. Paul has no problem in making a strong connection between the spirit world and many of these traditions. Then advising Timothy, 1 Timothy 1:4, don't occupy yourself with myths and endless genealogies which promote speculation. Rather, the divine training that is in faith. Again, 1 Timothy 4:6-7. Nourished on the words of faith and of the good doctrine which you have followed, have nothing to do with godless and silly myths or old wives' tales. And another warning in 2 Timothy 4:4, for the end times, some believers will turn away from listening to the truth and wander into myths. Paul, of course, wanted the best for his convert friends, especially at Philippi, and he reminds them in his letter excuse me, to the Philippians chapter 4:4-9. Although earth dwellers, they are really citizens of the heavenly realm. For their own good, they need to think and live according to kingdom principles. He tells them to rejoice all the time and to guard their hearts and minds, and offers this advice. It's very powerful. Whatever is true, whatever is honourable, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is of good repute, if there's any excellence in these things and worthy of praise, then think on these things. This word think, I think, includes to dwell, to ponder, to meditate, to absorb, to integrate into your very being, time and time again, to consider beautiful things, to bask in love and truth, to enjoy the presence of Jesus. The whole thing is about the environment where the Holy Spirit enjoys your company. So blessings to you and your house and your family this week.